borough of Brooklyn, we host a lot of different special events, whether they are sporting events, whether they are local events involving our own community, but we have traffic constantly flowing through our very own neighborhoods. Since we are here to educate and inform, I just wanted to reiterate what are the clear ways as we're going about our own business and see people in the streets. What would you suggest that we do if we see or suspect that someone needs this help? Do we need to just call up your organization? Do we need to find whoever is closest in our neighborhood? What has been the most effective way for you to receive the information so that you can offer and assist?
I'd like to touch on that just briefly. I think we all want an easy answer. We all want to know what can we do if we see something. With these situations, it's a really challenging answer to say because there is no one answer. Oftentimes, even I see things on the subway. I train on commercial sexual exploitation. I know what I see. But I also know when it's not necessarily appropriate for me to say something and it's not going to be received. It's making sure that we're getting into the places that we know we can actually reach the young people that we serve. And just as I mentioned, in the residential facilities, in group homes, over 70% of the young people that we work with are in foster care or have at one point been involved in the child welfare system. That is a huge source of young people who come to us. So, we're walking down the streets and we see something that we think looks a little off. Use your best judgment. I think it's a really difficult call because it could put that individual in even more danger if you do stop and say something. We used to do street outreach at GEMS. We really focus now in facility outreach because we've seen that to be so much more effective. So supporting your child welfare systems, receiving trainings and actually training your communities and the people in your family and the people that you engage with every day, and people bringing up conversations and throwing around terms like pimpin' and prostitute, and these are not terms that are representative of what's actually happening. But this is exploitation, this is a human rights abuse. And we have to start changing people's conversations because then as we're educating others, they're educating their community, they're educating their kids. So we're able to see a greater conversation around how do we end sex trafficking, how do we end commercial sexual exploitation. And I think that goes a lot for labor trafficking as well, having those conversations, but not being afraid to have those difficult conversations.
It's a very good point, because we do want to continue the conversation, but we want this to be a conversation of purpose and action, which is why we know where we can go, who we can send people to, what causes are really helping, and which ones are just being a little bit more stagnant, because we want this to change. As we are getting ready to wrap up, I just want to take the time to let each of you reiterate how we can reach you and how we can best help your organization as well as here on our own